The project on optimization of hydrological regime of the central part of raised bog Elnya was implemented in 2007-2009 with financial support of the JEF Small Grant Program. Located in the north of the Republic of Belarus, covering an area of more than 200 square kilometers, Elnya Mire is the largest Belarusian and one of the largest European raised bogs. Elnya plays a very important role in supporting biological diversity. It's a home to a number of globally threatened and protected species of animals and plants, and supports large numbers of migrating geese and cranes. The site is a nature reserve, an IBA and a Ramsar site. From the air, Elnya looks surprisingly colorful, but on the ground the problems become much more apparent. The key reason for this is that a network of drainage canals was dug in the central part of the bog in the mid-20th century. As a result of the drainage, the water table in the central part of Elnya dropped by 1 meter. Dry peat started to mineralize, releasing 1,000 tons of CO2 into the air. But what is much worse is that the drainage made the peatland prone to fires. In the last 2 decades, fires began to occur regularly, usually starting from dry areas around the canals. In 2002, an exceptionally large fire burned over 70% of the surface of Elnya, destroying much of its vegetation and threatening its biodiversity. Restoration of the vegetation layer was hampered by low water table. Even 5 years after the fire, at the time of a joint field trip by conservationists and scientists, the central part of the bog looked like desert. It was then that the project to restore the hydrology of the central part of Elnya was conceived. Detailed research was implemented prior to planning conservation activities. In order to monitor the process of restoration of the vegetation and water level regime, a system of permanent sample plots and hydrological monitoring was set up. Volunteers and local community members were engaged in rehabilitating the mire. Over 35 dams made of burnt trees and peat were constructed on the canals during joint camps. The use of local materials and simple design makes maintenance of such dams very easy. 6 more solid dams of similar design were also built by a local construction company. A caretaker network involving local communities was established around Elnya to monitor the changes, threats and condition of the dams. Thanks to the dams, the water level in the canals and the lakes at Elnya significantly increased. But for some inhabitants of Elnya, restoring hydrology is not sufficient. Every autumn, the willow grouse molts into completely white, disguising plumage. Now, when winters become much softer due to climate change, the white bird becomes an easy prey during thaws. Peatlands play a huge role in the climate balance. In the boreal zone, they contain 7 times more carbon per hectare than forests. Restoring and conserving peatlands helps mitigate the effect of the climate change, bringing hope to species which would otherwise have no chances to adapt to changing climate. However, many species that were threatened by the fires, such as charismatic black grouses, are already benefiting from restoration of hydrological regime. While standing dead trees still remind of the fires, the vegetation layer is showing its first signs of recovery, especially along the canals. The cranberry, an important source of additional sustainable livelihoods for thousands of local families, may need more time to restore, but the restoration process has started.